sort myself out. Well, starting here today. Why? I've had to walk round to get the van. The bloody battery's dead on the car. Well, the car's nearly 5 years old. Next January the car will be 5 years old, so... And the thing is, I've only been doing like shop runs, so... You know, just not enough to charge the battery. I'm hoping that's what it is anyway. Anyway, 6:42. It's 7:42. You dingleberry. Right. Configuration. Date and time. Time 7. Okay. Done. Come on. 7:42. I'm going to be late. Oh. Well, I'm not even going to. Well, I was going to see if Sam can tell me whether or not it's going to be raining today, because let me just text Samantha.
What's the message?
Check weather.
I got check weather. Ready to send it.
Yes. Yes.
Sending your message to Samantha.
Do you know, after using ChatGPT now for a few months, it's like a totally different world. There are times when you realise, as soon as I get at it, then right then they'll be splurting stuff out. So it's a little bit clunky, and then you realise, yeah, this is AI, and sometimes they get things wrong and stuff like that. But yeah, it's you know, you listen to Google, whatever, and it's like it's just totally different world. I had an image come up on Facebook. Today will be showers between 10 and for 4 o'clock. Oh, bugger nuts. So we got showers today, and the thing is, I've already postponed it today. Now I am going to send a message to everybody and say I cannot keep postponing. If you want me to, if you specifically don't want me to work, you're going to have to let me know. Unless it's absolutely hammering it down, I'm just going to carry on working. If it's drizzle throughout the day and I'm there for a whole day, it's different, because you can't work a whole day in constant drizzle. Not when you get to my age, not when you have the health problems you have at my age. It's just not wise. But if it's like on and off, I'm just going to carry on. I'm sick of cancelling. I'm sick of saying to people, I'll have to postpone, and then you get to the date like today you postpone with, and guess what? It's fucking raining again. So, but yeah, I had this image come up on Facebook, and it was like a robot lawn mower, a terma mower. I don't know what you would call it. I wanted a blend of Terminator and mower, you know, a mowernator. Anyway, so it come up, and it's it's really, really weird. The only way I could describe it's a very surreal image, chrome, and sort of like a very blurry kind of background, as if it is a garden of some form. I also did a few other images. This was using Midjourney, which was the best AI image generator at the time, and yeah, it was good at faces, because I mean that's where I got my my image, my original photo for the one of my characters in my book. I just wanted to create something that give me some visualization. Anyway, so what was it? I was trying to create an image of a Celtic gardener, and yeah, it didn't look right at all. I mean, mowing a lawn, it was like, I mean, if you're on my friends on my Facebook, you'll see there's an image of a kilted gardener every now and again. I'll put up, he's got sciatica and there's all the weather and stuff like that. I might put one up today where it's like sunny and rainy at the same time. Just following him, oh yeah, that'd be a good idea. Where there's a cloud looming over him and it's following him. Because that's how it feels sometimes. But yeah, this big journey you could see it wasn't quite right. Not quite right. Some of the images were like really bizarre and surreal. And then if you do that now, you will not know. You just won't. I mean, video, it was unheard of then. This is just 3 years ago. Video was unheard of, and the images were more surrealistic imaginations, whereas nowadays you can't tell. If you say, give me an image of, I don't know, Will Smith eating spaghetti, you ain't going to know if it's him or not. You're just not going to know. And the same with video. In fact, there is it's a sort of like an ongoing sort of benchmark, really, joke benchmark. Yeah, you just put that in front of me, where, you know, some AI company has just released its latest video generation software, and the first thing people do is like Will Smith eating spaghetti, and there is a video out there, and you honestly, you just can't tell. You really, really can't tell, because I thought it was him just as a joke, you know, a play on, because of the fact that he's obviously seen it. So he's like, right, okay, I'll post this, but you don't know. You just don't know. He hasn't said it is. I don't think he has anyway. But anyway, it's like that's just in 3 years. 3 years. 3 years time, you ain't gonna know. You're just not gonna know what's real anymore. It's as simple as that. And I don't think AI will become self-aware. I think that's going to be a long time coming yet. But I think possibly in my lifetime it will. I think that's what they call the singularity when AI becomes self-aware, and that's when it's dangerous, really dangerous. And I think if certain things aren't put into place to stop that happening, then it will. Because the thing is, you know, all you need is the AI to have access to cameras, all that kind of stuff. Once it's got access to cameras, audio, and it can actually not just see what's on the internet, but also what is around itself, you know, what it's surrounded by. I think that when it starts learning, I think that's when things can get really, really dodgy. The problem is, if it only ever learns on the internet, it's going to learn a very, very toxic behaviour, especially through social media, because it's going to be wanting to learn about human nature and stuff like that. And unfortunately, it's, you know, on social media, it is toxic. You disagree all you like, but it's toxic. And because I have noticed this a lot, because of social media, and because of its toxic nature, because people can say things and not have any repercussions, because that's what it is. It's like, you know, on here, YouTube, you know, you get some idiot who will say something about me because I've admitted something or said something, or, you know, because I'm talking about a book. And what they'll do, they might even find the book and think, well, what's this all about? And they don't have to have any filter whatsoever, and they will just say what is on their mind, and without any regard for repercussions. And that is why I say social media is toxic, because you can do that, you can get away with that. And the problem is, it's spilling out in real life, because, you know, the first time I saw sort of social media spilling out in real life was a professional company saying thanks, and I just thought, thanks? That's not really the way to say it, is it? It's thank you, not thanks. And that really sort of that sticks out in my mind. I was at the railway, that was. Thanks for coming, and it's like, no, thank you for visiting. Thank you, not thanks. But it's because, well, that's how they talk. They talk on social media like that. That's how they talk in real life. So that's how it becomes. And it's like, you know, the motorists all believe they are in the right when a lot of the time they're not. And it's like that. Look at the car behind. He's tailgating now, and they're not going to see they are in the wrong. They just won't. And that's the biggest problem. They can't see. Look at constantly braking. Now I know. I've got two people. I think I've got two people watching, and I bet you one of you drives like that. I bet you do. I mean, there's an occasion where I'm catching up with somebody, and all I have to do is just take my foot off the accelerator. So it does happen. I mean, we're all guilty of doing it at some point, but to literally drive like it constantly, that's where it isn't a mistake. It isn't something you're doing by accident or because a car is so. It's how you drive, and this is what I'm on about with social media and whatever spilling out. It's because they just cannot see how bad it is. They can't see, you know. I'd hate to be a kid in this day and age. I really, it's still breaking. I'd hate to be a kid in this day and age because, you know, you're at school and this toxic nature spills out in every aspect of life now, and as a result, you're a kid in school. These kids are going to be ruthless because they're not going to have that filter. I mean, I've got no filter, but I know when to keep my mouth shut. Yeah, on here is different because this is my format. This is my. You have it. It's like what Jimmy Carr says. I like Jimmy Carr, and a lot of people don't, and I can understand why. But the thing is, it's like the best line he ever said was when he gets cancelled again, when somebody says to him, "Oh, you know, you shouldn't be saying that." Why? Well, because it's wrong. Yeah, but I don't mean it. It's a joke. No, but you shouldn't be saying it. And he says next time they say that, cancelling whatever, he'll go up on live and he'll say, right, recent events has made me realise the error of my ways. I'm sorry. And then somebody will turn around and say, well, you don't mean that, do you? And he says, so what you're saying is I could say something without actually meaning it. And it's true. It's like, you know, and the thing is, I don't like quite a few comedians. I certainly don't like Chubby Brown. But it doesn't mean that, you know, some people are wrong by going to see him. If I go out my way to see someone like him and then get offended by what he says, that's my fault. That ain't his fault. And he is offensive to me. For me, it's not him offensive. It's offensive to me. It's me who's being offended. I am offended by him. Me. It's me. If you understand that, I'm trying to explain now. So, but that's the problem. It's like people are saying, well, I'm offended by Jimmy Carr. Well, why are you watching him? Why are you going out your way to watch him? If I say something on here and you're offended by it, why are you watching it? It's as simple as that. So when I go on about social media and people not having filters, this is my area where I can have no filter because, well, this is my forum. This is my place. You don't have to sit there and listen to it. And most people don't because it's bollocks. Big, hairy, fat bollocks. It's rubbish. What I talk about is complete bollocks. But the thing is, the one thing that I do want to do, I mean, in my mind, I look at the book and I read it and I think, yeah, this is a really good book to read. I've really enjoyed this. Well, right, in my case. But the question is, would anybody else read it properly? You know, somebody I don't know. Would anybody else sit there and actually read it? And it would be nice if I could get an audience with it, because it would be that would be a way to get my voice across. This is my only way, and I get I get about 25 on average people watch my live videos, and you know, I don't really get any sort of feedback from it, so I don't really know what people get from it. Maybe they just have a good laugh at seeing some sad old bloke just talking bollocks, or maybe they think, oh, this guy's got a point. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But where it comes to the book, I would like to be able to get my voice heard, and that's basically what it is. It's getting my voice heard. I have come up with another idea for another book, and again, it's getting a voice heard. It's crazy, because I think I may have found. This is why I say it'd be nice to know. It'd be nice if people would actually read them, because then at least I know I'm being heard. My voice is being heard, and that's basically what I found, another forum to get my point across. But it's whether or not they can read into the subtext, read underneath the actual heart of the story. I mean, how can I explain this? A lot of stories, they feed you what they want you to know, whereas there's a lot of subliminal messages within films, and you don't realise the actual hidden meaning of those films. And because I don't read, I'm terrible when it comes to stuff like that. So, but that's basically what I try and do. What I'm trying to do with this book is have hidden meaning, and perspectives as well. Because I think sometimes, okay, let's just say for the sake of argument, I am going to use an example that hopefully won't be misconstrued. I don't know what the word is. Misunderstood. But a few years ago, I had an issue with another YouTuber, and the thing is, it's like it was all a misunderstanding from my point of view. And this is it. This is what I'm saying. From my point of view, it's just a bit of harmless banter. And I really did want them to do well. But here's the thing: a story. If this was a story, you would only see my side. Look at this idiot here, overtaking me in the wrong fucking lane. Now, he should have gone straight down there. It's a good job I had my wits about me. So, if it was a story or a film, you would only ever see my side of things, and you think, well, he was right, or he was wrong. But here's the thing: in my book, I'm actually trying to do it so you can see both sides. Because the thing is, I don't know what that guy was going through. How do I know? So, that's what I'm trying to say, is like perspectives as well. Because something I said to a customer recently, they were on about, I did mention this, they were on about a dog barking, and I said, well, it could be worse, you could have music blaring. And I said, well, never really thought of that. I said, yeah, I get home sometimes and I've got music going, and it goes on till late at night, bang, thump, thump, bang. And she said, well, I said, it's all just relative. I said, yeah, that is going to get on your nerves, the barking, and it is. It doesn't make it any less, it just means that that's the word. When you're a child, here's the best way of explaining it. When you're a child, when you're just born, everything scares you, everything makes you laugh. So, if somebody puts a screwdriver on the table in front of a baby, that baby could laugh its head off, thinking it's really funny. That's why you keep repeating it, because it just thinks it's really, really funny. But here's another thing: you could do the exact same thing, and the exact same baby could cry its eyes out. What's that? Because everything is funny and scary at the same time. It's all new, it's all relative. And that's basically what it's like in life, because you've never experienced the loud music, the thumping and the banging and all that lot. When you experience somebody barking, that's the worst you've ever known it. And I didn't say all that. What I just said it's all relevant. I said, I've got people who are customers who are millionaires, and through COVID they've got nice big gardens and stuff like that. And I says, they were on about their debts and stuff like that. I says, yeah, if they lost their place, they'd still be in a house 5 times bigger than mine. But the thing is, it's still 5 times smaller than what they've got now. It's all relative. It's a huge loss. It's a bigger loss than I'd ever have. You imagine you're driving a £1 million car, and then for whatever reason you break down, and then you've got to drive a £50,000 car. Or just to put, I don't know cars. I think a Bugatti or something. Oh no! Oh, for 4 o'clock in the morning. The thing is, I've got no other way of getting through. But yeah, if you've got somebody who's driving around in a £1 million car and then they suddenly have to drive around in a £5,000 car, £5,000, £50,000 car, it's a huge drop. Whereas if I go from a car to a bicycle, yeah, it's a big drop, but it's not as big as theirs. If you can understand that, and that's basically what I said, it's just all relative. So, you know, those are the type of messages I want to sort of portray in my books. You know, all these type of things to sort of help people to understand, you know, yeah, you really, I mean, okay, I get home and I have to listen to all this thumping, this banging and God knows whatever else. I have no idea what their life is. They've got 4 kids and I have no idea. For them, it could be even worse. They're thinking, for fuck's sake, I wish these kids would shut up. Or, you know, I see it as them sitting on their arse doing fuck all day, but it might not be that. You just don't know. You really just don't know. Here's a good example. I don't know what this was, but Sam told me this. She said there was a programme that she'd watched and some girls were talking about school life and everything, and or women, whatever, I don't know, and they were saying, well, one was saying, well, what was your school life like? And they says, well, I was bullied. I was relentlessly bullied, and you know, it was really hard. And then she says, well, what was your school life? So I said, oh, we had a right laugh, it was great fun. And they were talking about this one time when they took a girl and tied her up and what have you, and or something like that, and I don't know, threw blancmange all over her and thought it was a really good laugh. I don't know. And then it's like, didn't realise she was the bully, and she didn't realise that her laugh, her good fun that she was having such a detrimental effect, and completely and utterly oblivious to it. It's things like that I want to sort of like get across, that people can be completely and utterly oblivious. I try not to be, but you know, we all do. We're all guilty of it. So there you have it. So today, as you can see, I'm at the hall. I was going to go on Friday, but it was hammering it down for most of the day, so I cancelled and sort of says I'll do it today. I'm just hoping that it doesn't rain, because it started raining and Sam says it's going to rain between such and such, and I only saw 10 AM. So I just find it really, really frustrating sometimes. But I said to Sam, yeah, I'll go out on my bike, I'll still do the bike riding and stuff like that. I bought a bike, I went out on it 3 times and that's it. I haven't been out, business started, but as soon as I started learning how to drive, I hardly went out on the bike because I wanted to drive everywhere. So, but as the business grew, it wasn't a case of wanting to drive anywhere, I just don't have the time. So I said to her that if, and this is a big if, I was able to sell a book and write, I said what I would do is drop down my days and slowly wean the days down, to whittle the days down of working, and be very, very selective. And I says, to be honest, I would still like to do the garden, to get out and do something, because you know, I think it's good to do that. I mean, we don't have a garden, so at least I'm doing it, you know, doing gardening on other people's gardens. I do find it therapeutic. But here's the thing, I have said that, and like I say, about the cycling, and I never did, so yeah. But as I say, I can't see it happening, I really can't. But I have to dream. I have to, because if I don't, and that's the thing, this is what I always say, if you don't try these things, you just never know. And the thing is, you just got to keep trying, and keep pushing, because if it's something you really, this is basically something I really, really want, and I think because of that reason, you know, I think there is a very small chance it would happen. Right now, it's like me driving. You know, when I first was learning how to drive, there was a small chance it would happen. And I think once I finish the book and I start getting people to read it and getting some proper feedback, I think then I will know whether or not it's worth pushing. I mean, even if I have to do a few, I mean, it is a massive learning curve. I did start publishing it on YouTube and stuff like that, but because I didn't know what how the process works, you know, I just thought, you know, I'll start publishing it and I'll get some feedback and see what people think. But the reality is I wasn't getting any feedback from it, and so I am going to get rid of those, because the reality is the story has changed. It has and it hasn't. I've just swapped things round and altered certain things to make it work better. And that's the thing, is like, even now I've got a friend who's reading it, and she turned around to me and says, well, I don't really read much, and she says, unless unless it grabs my attention, I won't be able to read it. And she says, well, I'm still reading. That's the only feedback I've got, not whether it's any good or not, but she's still reading. But it depends on what you like. I mean, this is like it really is a romance. I know, but it's built on the raw emotion that I've felt in the past. That's what it is, and it really is a release, an absolute and total release of raw emotion that I've actually struggled with in the past. That's why I say it's really therapeutic. But yeah, it depends on the type of books that you like reading. I mean, my customer up here has started reading it, but she's been reading the original draft, and I'm going to have to tell her, stop reading it. If she hasn't read it, I'll just say shred it, because I'll give her the actual book and I'll just say, look, it's turned into a romance, and kind of sci-fi romance. That's the thing, if you're into that, then maybe, but I can't imagine. I haven't indicated, sorry. See, that was my fault, and I know it was my fault. I hope she saw me say sorry, because I find that really annoying. Anyway, there's nothing I can do about that. Can't go back in time. Anywho, as I say, I would like it to actually happen, but I just need the right feedback. I just need some positive feedback to say, yeah, this could work. I like the idea. Even if somebody says it could do with a really good polish from a proper publisher or whatever, but I like the idea. I like the concept of what you've written. But the thing is, it was going to be in two parts, the book. The part I'm writing is more like the love story, a backstory, and then there was going to be the other story, which is the main sci-fi story. But that's the thing, because this has evolved so much into a love story. It was supposed to be an origin story, because it's evolved so much into this love story. I think if I put the two parts together, even if I write a second book, the second book will be so different. And I think that's the danger, because it's like, I mean, if you look at Alien and Aliens, they are totally different films. One's an action film and one's a sci-fi horror. There's no real, so if somebody's into horror films, they're not going to like Aliens. If they're into the gore and stuff like that, they're just not going to like it. Whereas if you're into action films and all that kind of stuff, then you're not going to like Alien, because it's horror. Same as Terminator, really. If you look at Terminator 1 and 2, they're totally different. I'm only saying Terminator 1 and 2. I liked the other ones. The only one I'm not too keen on is Salvation. And the reason being is because I thought John Connor would have been the star, but he wasn't. It was, I can't remember his name. The Australian guy, whatever his name is, he was the star of that show. And as for the other films where Arnie's back in it, again, I do like them because I just like that sort of homecoming thing. But it's a leave your brain at home type of film, whereas the first two had a deeper meaning, had soul to it. But they are two totally different types of film. The first one is more horror and has more tension, whereas the other one is more sci-fi. And if you like both genres, then it's fine, but if you don't, then it isn't, and I think that's where things lose it. I think that's my friend. I think she's just telling me what she thinks the guys have to do something from the previous chapter or even the chapter before. Only little things. But it's like I also do a lot of spitballing and stuff like that, just to. They don't close this lot off because that's going to really screw things up. Right, so I'm going to go, and if you think, I think most of you are male, and I don't think it's a male orientated book. So I'm going to go. He's coming over. See you in another life, brother.